We are 1 week away from HHN, so this is my HHN hype list for 2025. I thought it was appropriate for the hype list to wear the t-shirt I wore in honor of the house that was my most hyped last year and ended up being my absolute favorite house as well. So we got our Ghostbusters merch featured today. But for 2025, I have some unpopular opinions. Let's start with the new different like streetmosphere events that we have going on. Yeah, wardrobe change because we're like 2 days later because I recorded all the stuff for the hype list and then they dropped the food. So before we get to the hype list of the streetmosphere events, let's talk about the hype list for the food options we have already. Of the foods I've heard about so far, the Yum Yum deviled eggs are my least hyped food. Coconut panna cotta eggs stuffed with bright yellow pineapple whipped ganache sprinkled with tahini seasoning. I will not be trying these. I don't like panna cotta, it's a texture thing. If these were regular deviled eggs, I would have been hyped. Next up, we have Huskus Muscleman Slop Sloppy Joe, jalapeno bacon, dill pickle chips, and cheese sauce. This sounds so good, and I feel like I would love this, but I'm not sure my stomach would love this at HHN. This is a maybe get. The Radaway drink. Lemonade with chipotle pineapple mixed with spiced brown sugar syrup in a Radaway IV bag. I love a good, interesting way to consume a beverage. I think this sounds good, but not something I'm going to wait in a long line for by itself. Getting this will depend on other menu items and line length. Crystal Lake Coffee, Seagram's 7 Whiskey, creme de cacao liqueur, cold brew concentrate, and toasted marshmallow syrup. I hate marshmallows, and I'm not the biggest whiskey fan, but I'll always try a coffee. Spicy Jacarita, pumpkin puree with Reposado tequila, chili liqueur, and lime juice with a tahini seasoning rim. I love pumpkin everything, so I will be trying this, but spicy drinks tend to not be my thing, and I prefer vodka or rum over tequila. The FNAF Cupcake, chocolate cupcake with cream cheese buttercream icing filled with cannoli cream and a raspberry. I have a love-hate relationship with cupcakes. The reason this is up so high for me is the aesthetics. I think this is the cutest thing ever. I'm so happy that they have it, and I can't wait to see it in person. Clown Cafe Bloody Popcorn, popcorn chicken, pepperoni, and marinara blood sauce topped with Parmesan cheese. I will be trying this. It is everything I love. I'm so excited for this. Pepperoni is everything to me. I'm just hyped to have Clown Cafe in general, and the food so far there seems pretty good. The Witch's Brew, French 75 Prosecco, and elderflower notes served over dry ice. This is my most hyped drink. The flavors are ones that I love, and the aesthetic looks phenomenal. Layla's Tempered Tantrum Tendies, chicken tenders with sauce choices, garlic parmesan with spicy marinara sauce, or mesquite barbecue ranch with bourbon barbecue sauce. What's not to love about these? Love the name, love chicken tendies, love the flavors. I plan on trying both. My most hyped food is Artist Palette Churros with 3 dipping sauces, dulce de leche, raspberry jam, Bavarian cream. Yes, that's all. Yes, I will be eating these, possibly more than once. They're churros. For the most part, I'm not a huge fan of the HHN food. Even the classics, like I think pizza fries are incredibly overrated. I think twisted taters are soggy and overrated. And I think most of the food is too weird to eat. like I said, there's a few things this year that are listed so far that I'm actually kind of excited to get to try. I think they're doing interesting and unique and different things while also making them edible. So we'll see how that goes. I do tend to love an HHN mixed drink, so I'm excited to try a few of the ones that they have this year as well. And we will see how I feel about them when I am there. Now, let's get to the Streetmosphere events. Club Horror will be the area outside of Fast and the Furious. I'm excited to see an undead DJ, hear what the music vibes are, and experience something new and interesting. I am most hyped for the Mel's Die-In Street experience. I love Mel's, and I love the idea of that area getting utilized. It makes my 1950s vibe-loving heart happy. Now, while I think Club Horror sounds super cool, I am a Mel's girl through and through. I love Mel's. I've always loved the 1950s vibes and style. So much so that one of my outfits for this year's event is entirely Mel's. If you want to see it, stick around, hit that subscribe button, and go follow me on Instagram, same exact name there. Now, let's talk about the shows. Nightmare Fuel's Circus of Decay is not something I am truly looking forward to, mainly because Nightmare Fuel is not really my thing. I am super hyped for Hauntophonic, A Ghoulish Journey, the Lagoon Show, because I actually have never seen a Lagoon show. I am beyond hyped for the Lagoon Show. I've only been going to HHN for the past 2 years, and we haven't had a Lagoon Show in the time that I've been going. So that being my number one is so exciting. I'm also, like I said, not the biggest Nightmare Fuel fan. It's just not my thing. I know a ton of people love it. I think it has a lot of value. It's just not the type of entertainment that I personally enjoy. So I tend to skip it. It just is what it is. Let's talk about the hype list for scare zones. Coming in fourth, Mutations Toxic 20s. I'm not super hyped about Mutants Toxic 20s. Now, I think the 20s are a fun vibe. I think that the New York scare zone tends to be fun. But I don't know if compared to the other ones, everything I'm seeing about this and the storyline around it is something that's really hyping me up, which is fine. We're not gonna have everything be our favorite. But yeah, I'm not completely sold on Mutants Toxic 20s. We'll see how I like it once I get there. In third, Origins of Horror. I am really hyped to have a scare zone right out front. Now, in the years I've been going, we've had the scare zone, but it's been like itty bitty. There hasn't been much there. This is the first time I'm going to experience a full scare zone right as you walk in with Origins of Horror, and I love it. I love it. Everything I've seen of it, the gargoyles, the set designs look amazing. I am really excited to see what happens in this zone. The reason I have it as 3 is just because I don't know what to fully expect. So I'm waiting, I'm seeing, but I'm really hyped about this. My second most hyped house, the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. Cat Lady of Crooked Lane looks unreal. If you haven't seen videos of the set design, go watch some of the content creators who do the full tours that live in Florida. I'm in New Jersey. I'm not there to see that in person. But they built a house, like a full house. This scare zone looks unreal. Unreal. I love that there's the storyboards. I love that we're getting all this background. I cannot wait to see what the scare actors look like. Are they going to be full-on cats? Are they going to be like mutated cats? I don't know, but I can't wait to see. This scare zone is one that I'm going to spend a lot of time in. I can tell you that. And my most hyped scare zone, Masquerade Dance with Death. Now I know Cat Lady at Crooked Lane is a lot of people's number one, but for me, it's Masquerade Dance with Death. There's a few reasons. First of all, I love vampires. Second of all, love a good masquerade. I've been to Venice. I bought the masks. Love this. I also tend to always have my favorite scare zone be Hollywood. Each year, my favorite scare zone that I've been going is in Hollywood. So this one has a leg up on everybody because I tend to just love the Hollywood zones. I do also really love the set designs going on there too, specifically the balcony. I'm excited to see if there's like choreographed dancing. Like I would love to actually see like a ballroom style dance going on in Masquerade Dance with Death. I know it's about the death, but I don't know. I just think that would be cool. But that is my number one, most hyped. We will see if they all stay in these spots. Now, let's talk about the houses where I'm gonna get controversial. In 10th, Grave of Flesh. With Grave of Flesh, I just don't really know if there's gonna be anything that's gonna make it unique and different. It sounds like a pretty standard haunted house. So I have it in last place just because I don't really know if there's anything that's gonna make it special. In 9th, Galkin, Monsters of the North. Galkin, Monsters of the North, I'm hyped about, but not overly hyped. I think it's gonna be cool. I'm expecting it to be cold, which I love a good cold in the house. I just don't know much about Galkin or Monsters of the North. It is something that I might do research on before going because I don't go till the end of September. But right now, before it opens, before it starts, without having too much information, I don't know enough about it to be super hyped.
Good evening, citizen. If you're just tuning in, you're in for a treat. Our friends at Vault-Tec are showcasing a revolutionary new experience, unlike anything you've seen before.
I know. This is my first of two really big hot takes that people are going to get upset with me about. But I don't know Fallout. I'm not a gamer. So I've never played the video game. Never even really knew what Fallout was. Have I watched the show on Amazon in preparation for HHN? Yes. Did I really enjoy the show? Yes. Do I think the ghoul is a really great character? Yes. I don't know how it's going to translate into a house though. And while I think the show is great, it wasn't my favorite show of all time. I wasn't super attached to it. We'll see what happens. Maybe we can change my mind. I loved the Last of Us house and didn't really know much about Last of Us before going to HHN. So we will see. But going into it, Fallout is near the bottom for me just because I don't know too much about it and I don't see how it's going to translate into a house. In 7th, Hatchet and Chains, Demon Bounty Hunters. I am hyped because I love that we're getting one of the scenes from Cinema Slaughter into a full house this year. I didn't necessarily want it to be Hatchet and Chains. Just saying. I think we had other scenes that would have been really cool as houses, but I'm really excited to see the expansion of this room into a full house. Get more of the backstory and see what happens to it. And because of the fact that we already are going in with that little sneak preview from Cinema Slaughter, makes it so much fun. And I did the Unmasking the Horror tour last year, so I got to get a little bit of the background doing that because Cinema Slaughter was in the 3-hour tour that I did. This year, I believe Hatchet and Chains is in the 3-hour tour that I'm doing this year. So I'll get even more in-depth storyline to it, which last year made me love Triplets of Horror when I didn't like it when I first walked through it. So more to come on the Unmasking the Horror tour. And this is where I get all the hate. Yes, Terrifier is at 6 on my hype list. I'm not the biggest Terrifier fan. It's not my kind of horror. I haven't gotten attached to it. Now, prior to the HHN announcement, I had only watched All Hallows Eve and Terrifier. And I thought the series was entirely overrated. I have since watched Terrifier 2 and 3. 2 is my personal favorite. I have an appreciation for Art the Clown now. I do think he's creepy. I do think he's a really great character. I think he is performed phenomenally in the movies. And I am so hyped to have roaming Arts. Oh, I want to sit on a bench next to Art. Like, I'm not hyped about the house as much as I am about Art just being on a bench next to me. Love that. But for the most part, Terrifier is not my thing. I like the movies more after watching 2 and 3, but I still would nowhere put them near like my favorite horror movies. I am just not that much into the torture aspect of Terrifier. I think that's the PG-est way to say it. And it's a house that I'm excited to go through it. Like, I'm gonna go through it. I want to do the dry and the wet path. Little scared about the wet path, but I do want to do the house. I will do the house because I always do every house. But going into the event, I am not absurdly hyped about this house. And I know this is number 1 for a lot of people. So me putting it at 6, I know is going to be very shocking for some people. But Terrifier is not my thing. Another house that I knew nothing about. This is the year of IPs that I'm not familiar with. I have never watched wrestling. I had no idea who the White Six were until HHN started talking about them coming. And I've done my research. I think their costumes are phenomenal and so creepy. I'm really excited to see wrestling in a house because I know it's happened in the past, but I wasn't at that event. So this is going to be the first time that I experience wrestling being brought into the event. And I'm excited to see the storytelling throughout it. And who knows? Maybe we'll have a new wrestling fan by the end of the event. In 4th, Dolls, Let's Play Dead. Judge me all you want. I love a creepy doll. I love a creepy doll. So Dolls, Let's Play Dead is up there for me in my hype list because I love a good creepy doll. And the way they're describing it, it sounds like this Disney adult's gonna get inside of Sid's head, which is kind of fun. And I love that we're hearing that like we're gonna be the size of the dolls. So I'm excited for like the oversized set pieces. And I just love a good creepy doll. I do. I mean, I consider Dead Silence one of my favorite horror films. And if you know what that is, let me know in the comments because so often people are like, what is Dead Silence? I love Dead Silence. So yeah, I'm excited for creepy dolls to be given to me. In 3rd, El Artista, A Spanish Haunting. In my everyday non-horror life, I love museums. I love art. Last year, Museum of Deadly Exhibits was one of my most anticipated houses. This year, El Artista, A Spanish Haunting is one of my most anticipated houses because I love art. I love the stories behind it. And having this come to life around me, and from the vibe I'm getting, this descent into madness sounds so next level. And I love that the conservatory has been put all throughout the park this year. And I'm really, really excited to see this come to life. And I really hope that it is as intense as my mind is thinking it's going to be. And I will say, I am somebody who does tend to end up loving the original houses more than the IPs for the most part. An IP is my number one both the years I've been, but I do love me a good original house with a good story, and I feel like El Artista is setting up to be one of those amazing stories.
This place was huge in the 80s with the kids.
We've got FNAF. It is one of those houses that everybody has talked about for years, and we're finally getting it. And while I am not somebody who's ever played FNAF, and I've seen the movie and I really enjoyed the movie, I am into this lore now. Like, I have read some of the books, I have watched YouTube videos. I think the lore is so cool. The reason this house is at my number 2 though, is I am so excited to see what they do. I had heard that they were working with Jim Henson's team to create this house, and Jim Henson, may he rest in peace, is a genius. So anybody who works with the Jim Henson production team is going to be a genius. I'm excited to see if it's animatronics, if it's people in suits, if it's a mix of both. I'm excited for how it's being incorporated into the park in different ways, with it being an actual dining experience. Let me go have some pizza fries at Freddy Fazbear's. I don't even like pizza fries, and I want to go have pizza fries at Freddy Fazbear's. I just think this house has so much potential to be so cool. And I cannot wait to see how this amazing art team brings this to life. Cannot wait. And yes, my number 1 is Jason Universe. I grew up on these slasher movies. I remember watching these on my basic cable in the 90s with my commercial breaks all censored. And then when I was older, watching them as like actual movies and be like, oh, they got out a lot. But I love Jason. I love my slashers, my classic slashers, Jason, Michael, Freddy. Love them, always will. And I'm excited that it's Jason Universe. Like, what they're saying is we're going to go through all the iterations of Jason Voorhees, and I want all of them. Give me Jason Takes Manhattan. Give me Jason X.
What the hell is going on?
Jason Voorhees, that's what's going on.
Give me every single version of Jason. I also happen to, like I said before, live in New Jersey, so I'm very close to Camp Crystal Lake. Let me know in the comments if I should go take a tour of that when they start in October. So there you have it, my HHN hype list for 2025. I am going at the end of September, and I cannot wait to see all of this be brought to life. If you liked this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Stick around for all the stuff when I come back from HHN. But for now, you can go watch my video giving you tips on how to manage anxiety while at Halloween Horror Nights, because I'm also a licensed therapist, so I know a lot about that. Thank you for sticking around, and I hope you find your magical balance.